This recording will show you how to use the foreign language calls feature of this program. To begin, what we do is go to the lower right-hand corner, this big button, where it says Foreign Language Calls, and just click it. When we do that, we get this screen. And this screen is divided in three areas. The first area contains the languages. It tells you how many there are. 15 that are listed that have already been installed here. It says languages, but actually it's just a description, and you can use this to describe anything you want. What we do in this congregation is this RIC 01 is actually a territory. It's Rico, which is a Colorado town, and there are 2 territories in that town, and so at any rate, that's what we do. We use the territory, and then we use a description of perhaps all the no trespassing in that town. Here's somebody who is a Romanian, 2 people in that town, and so forth. This one is a write-in. Might be an area where a developer doesn't allow witnesses in there, so we would write in. It's not really no trespassing, and so forth. And we'll just do that here. We'll put in for Rico, well, let's put in a Rico 2. -02, and we'll make this one German. Found a German person there. We just add the language, and so now you can add German people calls that you have there that you encountered. There's 0 here because we just added it. Okay, there's a lot of calls. These are actually actual territories that we have there. Now, to delete a language, in order to delete it, if I tried to delete this one, SPA 03, it's got 29 languages, or calls, it says calls attached, and it won't let you delete it. You have to get that reduced down to 0. How about this one, this write-in that we just put in there? It's got 0, so you can delete it. All right, that's the function of this box. You add languages, and you can delete them. You can't delete it if any calls are attached. And these are the number of calls. Now, you also can select the language and then print all calls for the above languages. And those calls that you print will contain fields for every one of these that are listed here, assigned to, and all these fields. And an area where you can change those fields, should you want to update them. Okay. You need to sort them. Let's get down to the sort here. You can print all these calls by the name, by the person's name, and it'll sort it that way and print it that way, or the address 1 field, or an address 4, I'll get into what that is in a minute, and a last visit date. Okay, in case you want to go to the ones that haven't been seen in a while, you can sort them that way. But when you get this list, it'll tell you at the top, sorted by, and then it'll say name, address 1, last visit, however you've sorted it. Now, if you want to update a record from the list you just printed, because you've been there and you found out new information, you have to sort this one the same way. Otherwise, even though the data will be the same on the printout versus this list, they won't match, because the printout does have numbers printed next to it so that you can match them with these. So, I hope you understand that. You can print these things any way you want. The default is address 1. Now, that takes care of this. Now, this here, oh, and incidentally, there is a mark on that printout which says delete this call, in case somebody's no longer interested. Now, let's go to this field. This is where you enter the calls. And what we're going to do is, let's go to this German here, because there's 0 calls there. And we'll just take German. And what we're going to do is put a German name, Hans, and what you need to have is some means of contacting him, which would be either an address 1 or a phone number. Sometimes you just get a man's name at a food store and you don't know where he lives, but you can get a number. We'll do that for this gentleman. 565, okay, that's his phone number. And we happen to have discovered him on the 17th. Oops, not the 17th. The 14th of December. You can also click this button that says make make date today, and it will do that. So we'll just put it there. Doesn't matter. Whatever date you found him on, that's what will go there. Okay. You can assign this person to someone. On the first, when you first enter the data, you probably wouldn't do that, but maybe you would assign it to somebody later, because this person is now calling on Hans on a regular basis. It's an optional field too that you can have. This is an optional S43, whether or not you gave one and whether or not you wrote. I'm going to click both these yes, just so you can see that when we look at this Hans again, you'll find out that he does have an assignment of Edward, and these two fields have been clicked, and they'll reappear that way. So what we're going to do is add this now. So what you do is take this add button, click it. That's it. So now we got call 1 of 1, and this is German, and we go to German, and there it is. One call there matches one call here. Okay. We're going to add Hans 2. And just make this today, and he does not have either of these, and no one is assigned to him, and so we'll just add him. Okay, so now we got 2 calls. Now we're going to add Hans 3, and we're going to give him an A1 for an address 1, and we'll change that. This one here we happen to have found on the second. We'll leave these no. What I'm trying to do is fill in a variety of fields, not only for this example so you can see how it's done, but we're going to be sorting it differently. So let's add this guy. Okay, now let's say we want to clear all of this information except this language here. This is for your convenience, this button. If you click that, all these fields are blanked, and you're viewing call 0 because there's nothing in there. And we'll put down C-H-A-R-L-E-S, Charles. We'll put him on a street. And we just found him today. Leave everything else alone. Now we just add him. Now he's the 4th record that we've added. Let's say that Hans 2, we want to add that this address 4, like I said, you can use it for anything you want. You might want to put down RURAL to let us know that, or let the friends know that he lives in a rural area in RICO 2. And again, you want to change this to you really found him on the 12th, and we did write to him, got a response, and we're going to change this information. That was the last contact that we had of him. Okay, we can make that date today. What do we got? 4. Okay, what I wanted to show you is that as soon as you click this, it sorts them by that order. It sorts it as soon as you click it. And if we click the address 1 field, it'll sort it by that, with blanks coming up first. If we go to next call and next call, there's main, and the other one is A1 that we put in. You can also sort this thing by this address 4. Well, let's update this guy, TOWN, so that we have something to look at. Okay, we're going to do that by address 4. Blanks show first, always. 3rd one is in town, 4th one is rural, over here. And this last visit, you can sort it by that, and it'll come up with the oldest date first, so that you can go and see those people first. And you can also print off a list like that, last visit date, so you can be sure to see those first. And it will be sorted that way and numbered. If you're going to print off that list that way, you would want to also list these things, and we're going to go, let's say we've got a change for number 3, because it will be listed. We're going to actually say that he's an address 2, whatever that means, and we'll just change it. Okay, now we're going to come to the first one, and the first one turned out to be somebody who wasn't really interested. Well, let's go back here by the date. So we just click permanently delete. Now remember, we have 1 out of 4. And in German, we have 4. But if you permanently delete it, now we've got 3 and 3 calls over here. Okay. I don't want this to be too long. That's why I'm going through it in a hurry. I think I've covered everything. Add, change, delete, clear all but language for add, permanently delete. Let's see, you can print them in any order. That's how you add a language. You can assign it to someone and it'll stay with it, and you can always change that. So I hope that satisfies you. What we do here is we return and we're done.